Airship Archaeology, featuring Taylor, Isaac, and Sam. I am the announcer guy, and I am excited to be here. On to the show.
We'll ease back into the podcast game.
Yep. A little bit at a time.
So.
Overwhelming. Oh, I'll do the thing again.
Okay.
Ready? 3.
Wait.
2.
So is it on 3 or after 3?
Oh, it's on 1 now. Well, actually, it's when I say, I won't say 1, but it'll be on like a metaphorical go.
Will
Ready?
you point at
3.
me?
Well, the thing is, because we're each
2,
recording it, we each have to say 3, 2, 1 along with you, though.
You didn't say
Welcome to
1.
Airship Archaeology, Volume 2.
Hey, how's it going? Hey guys, my name's Sam Smith. As you heard Taylor say, this is Volume 2. Apparently we're calling them volumes now.
Yeah, they're not digs anymore. We're abandoning the whole airship archaeology thing.
Should we rebrand? Can we rebrand on podcast?
Yeah.
I love rebranding.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
Okay, so we'll talk about. Okay, real quick. My name's Sam Smith. Who do I got with me?
Isaac Alberg.
Taylor Donahue.
And the man who's and he's the man who was pointing at me in the thing.
Was I pointing properly?
Okay.
I think so.
Well, to me, you were pointing at me, but.
Oh, shoot.
It was right on my end.
Nice. Hey, wait, can I jump in right here for a
No,
minute?
go ahead.
No.
I only recently, like a month ago, found out the singer-songwriter Sam Smith's age.
Yeah.
I forgot the exact number, but he's a lot younger than I thought. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, he's like our age.
Now,
How young?
as great
A little bit older.
as great as this is to hear, that's what you had to jump in with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have forgotten it forever.
He's 23.
20. He's our age.
That's crazy. Hey,
That's crazy.
don't reveal too much personal information.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, is it because my
No.
name's Sam Smith? Is that the connection you made?
No.
Okay.
It's because you're a great singer.
I mean, I do got a good falsetto on me. I'll give you that.
You do.
So, anyway, we're going to talk about Jurassic Park, but before that, we have pressing issues. We're rebranding right now.
Yes.
Currently, we're Airship Archaeology. I think Isaac's gone. No, he's not. Okay, his eyes are moving. Currently, we're on.
Oh God.
We're Airship Archaeology, but I think we all agree that we've outlived that name. Suggestions. Go.
Red Bulls podcast with wings, sponsored by Red Bull.
You hear that, Red Bull?
Now, see, that's smart. Going straight for the sponsorship. I like that. But if we wanted to live in the podcast world, it's got to be like the Audible podcast. Audible by Audible.
Well, see, they went over this in the early episodes of a different podcast, one of our esteemed rivals, where you can't go for the small sponsors, you got to go big. You got to go for Nike and Coca-Cola and... You're thinking
Okay,
small,
so-
Sam.
Yeah. Don't do that.
It's the... We're the Mick podcast. What? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Sponsored by.
I'm loving it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That should be our podcast name.
So we got a
I'm
new theme,
loving
that's
it.
all good.
I'm loving it. I like it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I think that works.
Now, are we gonna? Should we rebrand every week?
Yeah. I mean, we want a lot of sponsors, and if we stick with one, that's not a lot of sponsors.
That's true. And if we're working with that McDonald's money for this week, we'll be good for a while. So.
Yeah. At least till next time.
Okay. So as of right now, I'm loving it. Up for grabs. What do we think? Vote.
Aye.
My name is Sam Smith. Welcome back to I'm Lovin' It. With me, as always, I have Taylor Donahue and Isaac Alberg. Say hi in those respective ways that I said your name.
Aye.
McNuggets? Is that how this works?
You know, guys, I was going out today and I was thinking about getting a salad, but then I just saw those golden arches, the
La-di-da.
golden arches that always call out to me, and I just got this Big Mac, you know, with that special sauce that's so good. Mm. Anyway, Isaac, you wanted to talk about Jurassic Park?
I mean, more than I wanted to talk about the sketches that I don't have prepared. Spoilers.
I'll let you lead this conversation.
Go for it.
Great. Well, the last time, 5 months ago, when we recorded and released, or didn't release, our last podcast, we want to talk about Jurassic Park. So it's based on a book by one Michael Crichton, who's famous for working with topics of technology and bio-research and ethics and these sorts of things. And so, I don't know, to start off, like, what were your guys' impressions of any, like, kind of cinematography things, or just movie-based stuff before we get into any, like, philosophy of the book or movie?
I think it's really easy
What
to
were you-
compare it to the older Jurassic Parks from, like 95 or 3 or whatever it was. And thinking back on the old ones, I kind of do this with a lot of movies, even like The Lord of the Rings now. I just think of how impressive the old cinematography is, Like how all the dinosaurs, well, the smaller scene dinosaurs in the old movies were, humans punching around. Blew my mind. Of course, I was way too young and had nightmares for years after seeing it at a too young of age. Yeah, I mean, there's always the difference between old style props versus great what's it called, that digital stuff?
CGI?
CGI, thanks. And I mean, I'm not completely against CGI, especially in this one. It's just fabulous. But I was like, that's the first thing I think of in remakes or additions to a series.
Mm-hmm.
Quick clarification. Are you talking about Jurassic World?
Yes.
We're talking
Okay,
about the
we're supposed to watch
the
Jurassic
first
Park.
Jurassic
Which one?
The first one,
Oh.
Jurassic Park.
All right. Well, I mentioned that one, I think.
Yep, you did.
Great. Let's just switch the phrasing around. When you compare it to the new one, Jurassic World, you see the difference in cinematography. I suck at this thing. Sorry, guys.
Sam can grab
No,
it in
yeah,
post.
it's
It's
good.
fine.
It's good.
We got all the words we need.
It's good. I mean, I've seen that one too. There we go. Okay, we're
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I think cinematography-wise, it was a beautiful movie. I mean, just like when you think of the theme of Jurassic Park and it pans over the valley where they're all just kind of chilling, like that shot is an iconic shot. And there's so many things in this movie that are so iconic. I guess before we talk about the philosophy, but they're just so iconic that you know of, even if you haven't seen the movie, like I hadn't until recently. And
Now I'm even more surprised.
that I haven't seen. Oh,
Yeah. I was like, I haven't seen Jurassic World either back then.
yeah.
And it's like, now I'm baffled that you said it.
Mhm.
But that's okay. That was a past tense
No.
thing. I'm okay with that.
And
Well, and also the I'm Loving It podcast has now brought new knowledge and understanding to Sam Smith, so it's already served a quality
There you
purpose.
we're a podcast that features that caters to pop stars and normal people alike. So it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Let's.
Isaac, if I may, before you continue the conversation. So when I was trying to figure out how to watch it, I was looking, seeing if it was like on YouTube, just because I didn't really feel like renting it, and just trying to find different ways. Thing is, Jurassic Park is on YouTube. If you're willing to watch a shot-by-shot remake made by some 8-year-olds, literally the whole movie remade by children,
My.
and
Can we watch that for next time?
and it's magnificent. Like for how young they are, it's really impressive, but it's also just ridiculous because. So I would recommend, if you haven't seen it, just search like Jurassic Park kids remake on Google or YouTube. I'm sure it'll come up. It's worth it. We'll watch it for next time. Guaranteed.
It's awesome. I'm intrigued.
Sorry. Go ahead, Isaac.
Okay. Continue.
Oh. Well, so I guess the other part that we could get to then is, and you mentioned as well, Sam, that one sweeping shot of over the dinosaur McNugget Valley.
money is
I don't know
so
what you guys
easy.
with the
Money
river
is
with the
so
river of
easy.
sweet and sour sauce.
But another thing that stands out too is the John Williams score is just fantastic, of course. Like just about everything he's ever done.
So, John Williams, he also did Star Wars, correct? Okay.
Yup.
What?
And Indiana Jones.
Dang.
In my entirety of a fourth grade band.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But I
Go ahead.
no, just iconic dude.
Yeah.
Who's still around. He did the new Star Wars as well, 30 however many years after the first one came out.
Schindler's List as well.
Doesn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
He also does classical guitar, I believe. Like he's been kind of a Segovia follow-up. He played a lot of Segovia things.
That's the same John Williams?
You know, I don't know. I was just making that up, but the same name, so that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
so
No,
he's-
it's probably
yeah.
him.
He's done Star Wars. He's Schindler's List, Home Alone, Jurassic Park, Jaws,
Schindler's List, yeah.
E.T., Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Saving Private Ryan. It's ridiculous. Like, he is literally made this soundtrack to, like, the movies of my childhood.
Yep.
Props to him.
Oh, I know. Better yet, let's watch all those movies, but we have to find them without the music, and then see how we like it. I think you can like Google search or YouTube search for famous scenes without the music, and it's a little different.
It's kind of like when you can Google search, like, The Big Bang Theory without the laugh track. And it just,
God.
it sounds so...
You don't
Terrible.
search for that.
Don't do it. What if a Star Wars fought a Star Trek? Silence. Shut up, nerd.
I'm starting to think that
Silence.
we should leave sound for laughter in our podcast.
Agreed.
What, like that?
Exactly.
But it should definitely be our own canned laughter, like the three of us recording.
Oh yeah,
a
like
bunch of
looping
different laughs
back
at different
over so we
frequencies.
sound like a million people.
Wait,
That'd be
can
awesome.
let's get some
Yeah.
laughter real quick right now. Okay, so on 3, not after 3, on 3. Let's laugh for about 5 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
1. So wait, no, after 3. Do it after 3. 1. Excuse me. 1, 2,
I'm out of laughs. I just used it all up.
3. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Can we get some individual laughs now, Taylor? You. Okay, I think we're good with that laughter section. We can go back to Jurassic Park now.
Ooh, pop quiz. Is there any laughter in Jurassic Park?
Do you have the answer to this pop quiz?
I'm gonna guess yes.
There is either the stupid little kids, or like when they first see the animals or something, they're all kind of laughing like out of sheer terror and respect for their own tiny mammal mortality, and in the face of all those. When you see the Big Macs cresting the hill, it's kind of a majestic moment. And
Is in the second movie that the opening scenes on the beach and they're the little nuggets, and they
Yeah.
eat.
Procompsognathus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the third one.
That's the third one. Okay.
Like the little dino rats.
Yeah, I think I remember that most vividly in my childhood. Hating it.
Nightmare
Yep.
fuel.
Forever.
What was the scariest movie of your childhood? But then now.
Silence of the
Oh,
Lambs.
okay, never mind. I was gonna say now that you
Hands
look
down.
back
How old
at it,
did you
it's
watch
not
that one?
scary, but Silence of the Lambs still freaks me out. So never mind.
Yep. Agreed. I could probably. Let's see.
I would definitely agree though,
Actually,
because
yeah,
I was forced to watch Silence of the Lambs, like, against my will, because I was with a bunch of friends and they all really wanted to watch it, and I knew that it would be too much for me, but I still had to anyway. It was bad.
Yeah, I watched it with my dad, like when I was 6 or 7. I was most of it went right over my head, of course, but there's some images in that movie that are still ingrained, and I still kind of like am hesitant to watch it again. But I was gonna say, beside that, I think Signs with Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
That
That's probably it for me.
freaked me out. Like when the first time I saw it, whenever it first came out, I saw it, and now I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies now. I don't know why, but I just love it.
Yeah, it teaches bad baseball strategy, but other than that, it's pretty well done.
That's right.
It's like the anti-Moneyball.
Sam?
I won't real quick. Never actually seen Signs, so I'll have to get on that as well. There's so many movies back then that I did not see.
Can we see the kids acting out Signs? Can we watch that?
See if we can sign them up for that.
Heyo.
Okay, so
Wait, pause for the left.
there was okay. There was a movie that so it's called The Burbs. Have you heard of The Burbs, short for The Suburbs?
Oh.
Okay, well it has Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher in it. And
Classic.
yeah.
Who?
So let me read. It has a 47% on Rotten
Layla.
Tomatoes, so take that as you may. Let me read the synopsis. Settling in for some time off in his suburban home, Ray Peterson's, Tom Hanks, vacation home becomes a horror when the Klopeks, a suspiciously foreign name, so you know it's going to be scary, a suspiciously odd family move in down the block. Enlisting the aid of his paranoid buddy, Rick Ducommun, and his militiaman neighbor Rumsfeld, Bruce Dern, Ray sends his son and wife, Carrie Fisher, away on a trip while he investigates the Klopeks. When a neighbor disappears, Ray and his cohorts risk their lives to save the cul-de-sac from the clutches of evil. It was a PG movie, so you know it was pretty intense.
It requires parent guidance.
Maybe.
Maybe. It was advised. I haven't seen it.
No.
So I'm not too scared.
I don't remember what it's about at all. I just remember literally, like, that's the only thing in my life that for multiple, like, periods of time, so, like, multiple weeks afterwards, I had trouble sleeping because I was freaked out. Granted, I was, like, 7 at the time, so it kind of makes sense. But that's the only time that's happened for me.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there was a book that was like that for me, and that book was Jurassic Park. because the first time that I tried to read it, I don't know how old I was, 7 or 8, something like that. And the first chapter is about, it's like setting the scene, and we don't know anything that's happened yet. It starts earlier than the movie does. And the first scene is the little dinosaurs, the ones that you saw on the beach, Taylor, you were talking about earlier. They're breaking into like a nursery in Costa Rica, and I still remember it, not precisely, but the paragraph, it's talking like the little thing reached into the crib and came back with a chunk of baby flesh dripping out of its mouth or something.
Delicious.
That was pretty scarring. This seems like a great book. I'll get right on that. Michael Crichton Fellow's a weird guy.
Yeah.
There are things about books that just allow stories to go so much further, you know, just because you have all the images in your head and you can just like keep thinking about it, that movies they don't allow that quite to the same extent, which is why I love reading books.
Yeah.
Segway. What are you guys reading right now?
You reading anything, Isaac? Have you learned to read yet? Pause for laughter.
Like letters?
Like chapter
Oh.
books?
I am not reading anything in particular. Some dumb history stuff, whatever, like I'm always reading. War of the Spanish Succession. It's a book by Timothy something. He's a British guy. But nothing that interesting.
Speaking of history books, because we both love history, we know that, but, I mean, everyone knows that. Have I ever told you about the book, The Savage War of Peace?
I don't think so.
I said I think it's A Savage War of Peace. It's by this guy, Alistair Horn. I assume is British because I've never heard of a non-British guy being called Alistair.
He's very good.
And
He's very good.
it's a
There's a book he did on the Napoleon.
it's about the Algerian War for Independence, and it is honestly one of my favorite books, bar none, just in terms of the story that it read and the history that it is, and it's not, and this is like the War for Independence in the late 50s, early 60s, not like the Civil War that happened in the 90s. And so I would recommend that for you, Isaac. Also, any history buffs listening. So, Isaac, you should read that book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I won't read it.
Do they win?
Spoilers. Come on. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll read the book.
What about you, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm reading a history book right now, guys.
Yay! Pause for laughter.
Yale just published what's called A Little History of the United States.
What's Yale?
It's a college, I think. Oh, great. Someone's failing at the old baking. There's a lot
That's a
of
good. Oh,
laughter
dang
going
it!
on upstairs.
That was a good beat. We could have started rapping on that. Okay.
So Yale published. They published it, I think, last month or something like that. Just a little history of the United States starts at I think it actually opening paragraph is Leif Erikson. I want to say.
Oh.
So all the way
Nice.
to the beginning of our written oral history. And right now, I just finished the Civil War. Finished Civil War. Lincoln's team won.
He really drafted well.
He sure did, man. It's really good. I think the series is kind of geared towards like high school level, right? It's not hard to read. It's more what I'm doing it for fun. Trying to get, I've never been really good at dates. So I'm trying to align events with
Wait, Taylor, aren't you dating someone?
numbers.
He didn't say he was good at it.
Yeah,
He is, but
I am. She hates it.
It's kind of like a Stockholm
hate it.
syndrome thing.
No, it's really good though. I mean, both you guys and even I did will know everything about it mostly, but it's just fun to read again a really sweeping history of our country. Especially right now. I mean, we're in election season.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool to learn about the old other presidents.
honestly, I don't even know. Oh God.
Oh man.
I don't even know that much about American history. Is the thing. I've never been like outside of a few little parts of like the Civil War,
Like the Battle of
World War
Gettysburg.
II kind of era. I don't know. Gettysburg. Mm-hmm. But like I don't have I've never had the presidents memorized or like any of that kind of.
Hey, you'll know the presidents
probably
once
learn a lot
Donald
from
J.
that.
Trump is president of the United States.
Can we make this a politics podcast? Or can we rebrand to Fox News, the Fox
Okay,
News podcast?
rebranded. We're the Foxiest podcast. Hey, my name is Sam Smith. Welcome to
me O'Reilly.
welcome to
This is my
the
factor.
Foxiest podcast. I'm here with Isaac Goldberg, our local
O'Reilly.
politics correspondent. Take it away, Isaac.
Damn it. Grand Leader Donald J. Trump is running away in the polls again. He's running away to first place. He's looking to sweep Utah and Guam and Puerto Rico, and he's going to climb all the way to the top on the basis of those three states. It's looking great for fans of his, and which you are, because you're listening to this podcast. Take it away, T Swag.
Yeah, I'm going on with that. He's not only climbing to the top, he's climbing to all four positions in Mount Rushmore, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
That was a hot take from our youth correspondent, T Swag.
You know me, just trying to get an A on my high school paper.
So I just had a stroke of brilliance, as I do often.
Pause for laugh track.
I blew it.
So
You can layer it in
so
over
our podcast official name is just the Rebranding Podcast.
Correct.
And whenever we want to, we rebrand. But if we're going to rebrand, we have to come up with a new name in podcast for that section of the podcast.
Okay.
What?
So like a hydra of segments.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nice.
Thoughts?
This is called the Meta Podcast Talk segment, and we're now the Meta Podcast.
Hey, all I'm saying is people, they're sick and tired of seeing finished, polished products. They just want to see really the grittiness that goes into the work of art. And I'm just trying to let people into that, you know?
Real human beings.
Having human
Not
conversations.
those computers. Not the computers over at the I'm Lovin' It podcast or the Foxiest Fox News podcast.
I kind of missed that one.
People want to hear real human emotions.
Human emotions. Like laugh tracks. Superhuman.
Pause for laugh track. Very good. Very good.
Thank you. Got my form down. I just have to think of the Foxiest News podcast. Then I don't laugh.
Okay.
Oh,
But anyway, as you guys are so rude and forgot to ask me what book I'm reading, I'll
You read?
yeah.
I mean, you talked and you
read
didn't
the
say anything
book
about it.
right
You
now?
just,
As we were talking about your book. Come on. Don't make it all about you. It's okay.
isn't it?
So as you guys have not heard it all once, my New Year's resolution is to read 52 books this year. For those of you out there, that's one book a week. Pause for gasping.
Roughly.
Can also pause for
It is a
the
leap year.
fight that's going on upstairs over the burnt food. It's really funny.
Anyway,
Like,
no, it's okay.
I'm gonna die.
Reading this book. It's called Welcoming the Stranger, and it's this book that's about. So it's about immigration into the United States as a whole, but it's from the Christian perspective, which I mean I just appreciate just being a Christian having that perspective. But the book itself is also very much like how it has a historical perspective, like how has immigration changed in the United States from the beginning of the United States to now, and like what is the current debate like. And so obviously there's the idea that we should be loving to the strangers, but it's also very substantive, which I appreciate as well. So. Immigrants, yeah.
Sounds neat.
Is that a newer book?
No, it came out in the 2000s, but in the last 6 years or so, I think.
Okay, that's not bad.
So it's not super outdated, but I mean obviously there's going to be some stuff that's not quite right.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to cut out this silence and what I'm saying right now. Do you guys want to what?
That's the cold open for the podcast now. Now this is the funny part at the start where we go, hey, are we going to be funny anytime soon?
Mm-hmm.
What if we just started this really cool avant-garde podcast where there's just silence and like the occasional groan or something?
Yeah, we'll call it 426. Is that the name of it?
I have no idea what you're saying.
528.
There's that piece of quote-unquote music. It's like the dude... Do you know it?
It's
called like 431 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Is it 431?
It's a number.
Okay, well, great. We'll cut out me not knowing it and sub in me saying, I'm going to say a sequence of 10 numbers and you cut them together to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Excellent.
That song from that one guy called blank, where he just is silent.
Perfect.
I mean, I think that about does it for this week. If you guys... I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, I think we've been wrung dry.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh track.
No, not again.
So that's episode 2,
Done.
volume 1 of the...
Dig 3.
I'm confused. What's our
Are you?
podcast name?
meta podcast right now.
Yeah, currently. We can start like the finished touched podcast. Anyway,
like the last.
we're still in season 1, episode 2.
Season 1,
Well,
episode
now
2.
we're in the final stretch podcast.
Conclusion.
We still name and project. Anyway, join us next time for this podcast, which will have a name presumably by the next time we meet.
Thanks for hanging with us today at Airship Archaeology. Join us again next time for more scintillating discussion. I, for one, cannot wait. I have been the announcer guy, and I'm signing off. Cheerio.